Guys, President Martinez has just launched the nukes.
President Martinez, and this is how we're finding out about it? Jesus Christ.
Man, every single week is an apocalyptic
I
thing
swear, man,
here.
the state of our fucking news media right now is abysmal. If we're the ones that are... Breaking news, everybody. President Martinez just launched the nukes against our longtime allies.
Yeah, let me look into this. We're launching them at Bahavia for some reason. The
Bahavian people have been our allies for centuries. Why is he launching the nukes at Bahavia?
I have no clue, man. It's weird.
It's almost as weird as the fact that now that I think about it, President Martinez has been in office since like 2006.
Yeah, it's been a long time, I mean, I thought, I was told this was a democracy, but then
I thought we had
to think about it, but
I thought we had like 2 term limits, but I just like life kind of zooms by you sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes 2 term limits go away.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, oh wait, hang on a second. Okay, breaking news again.
Again?
Yeah, the nukes have been canceled.
The nukes have been...
We canceled the nukes.
I don't know how they did that, but thank fucking God.
They did it. Yep. Apparently, Sophie Martinez, the president's daughter, was just very upset that one of the Bahavians did not want to be her friend.
It's America's sweetheart for you, man.
Yeah. This is why children shouldn't be allowed in the White House at all. This is why we need the first virgin. This is why we need the first virgin president. Okay.
We're making a lot of political statements right on top here. A lot of really veiled political statements, but...
We need a president that has never had sex before. And no, Elon Musk does not count.
No, he's got too many kids. Listen, he is a virgin, but he has had too many kids.
Yeah.
One of which he carries around like a meat shield at all times. Wow, this is the Cory in the House episode.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Brogan.
I'm Josh.
And welcome to How to Otaku, the anime podcast. We're actually covering a hit classic anime from your childhood called Cory in the House.
That's right. Yeah, like this show is... It's strange because, like, it's one of those shows that, like, has kind of gotten a cult reputation since it came out.
Yeah,
initially.
definitely.
But, like, for some reason now it's, like, lost media, Like,
it was surprisingly hard to find...
any episodes.
Any of this show anywhere on the internet. I mean, like, not for me, because I know where to look, but, like, it's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
which is like where you would think it would be.
Yeah, because it was produced by Disney Channel Japan. Like
exactly.
You figure, but no, we were only able to track down 11 episodes, right? And not even
in total.
Yeah.
And it was weird because it was like literally the first half of the first season, and then the last episode with The Rock in it. So at least that's still standing.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine some guy in Japan was just like, oh shit, it's The Rock. I got to record this. And now, thanks to that.
Thank God. Because, I don't know what I would have done if the...
that's why you record...
Cory, it's hard in the White House.
That's why you always keep your DVR hooked up. Okay.
Exactly. Because, and the other thing is, now this is kind of super tangential to Cory in the House, but more on like media preservation stuff.
Yeah.
Weird old commercials are really interesting as like accidental archival pieces.
Yeah.
In association with other things. So like you see just like weird bumpers from like old TV shows sometimes when you're watching rips online.
Yeah.
Like you'll be watching Dragon Ball and all of a sudden for the first time in 30 episodes there's a fucking Toonami Tom bumper just in the middle of it that like nobody's seen in half a decade.
Yeah. And then somebody uploads that to YouTube and it's like, oh shit, I remember that.
There it is. The thing from my childhood. But then it's like we're starting to get to the point where people are like uploading just like commercials.
Yeah, like I saw like a 1984 Dr. Pepper ad yesterday on Blue Sky. It was like a minute and a half long. It was like this weird like super horny Star Wars parody that ended with a Dr. Pepper.
W, dude. I expect nothing less from Dr. Pepper.
Goated, okay. Look, number 2 now, okay? Number 2 cola.
Number 2 cola?
Yeah, they beat Pepsi like last year or the year before.
They're not number 1? What's number 1?
It's
Am I stupid?
It's
Is it
Bloxy
Coca-Cola?
Cola. It's Bloxy Cola.
I don't.
Roblox? No. Okay.
Do you want to talk about anything other than Cory in the house?
Yeah, like, so this show kind of has a cult reputation, right? Like, it's, you know, when people talk about anime, it's one of the first ones they mention, even though it's, like, really hard to get. I assume that's part of the mystique of it, right?
Well, right. It's kind of in the pantheon of, like, excellent shows that have just been lost to the sands of time.
Yeah,
like,
excellent shows.
Like Cory in the House, you know, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know,
Yeah.
those cornerstone animes.
Neo Yokio.
Neo Yokio that are just lost to the sands of time.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, it's all got something to do with like the production end of things.
Yeah, like
and potentially the country of origin
is
kind of up for debate for some cases of these.
Yeah,
but
like, you know, like this was produced by Disney Channel, but Disney Channel Japan, you know, and like it's just one of those things where it's like the crossover is so much that some people don't even consider it anime because
right,
you know,
but like you can tell though because like the style is all there.
Yeah,
it's
like,
all like so baked into the thing. I'm sorry, I can't keep this bit up. It's just, oh my god. You've either seen Cory in the House or you haven't. And just something that is interesting to me about this is how long this show ran for being a spin-off of a kids show that's directed at slightly younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, so like the preteen That's So Raven show, but then we spin it off and it's Cory in the House. But it's also so embroiled in like faux political interest because it's like in the White House.
It's about the president, and like as much as the show tries to not be about politics, it has to be a little bit about politics.
Like all the storylines just revolve around like, how are we gonna get this senator to and it's all very like Ed and Eddie, like Cory's always trying to like make a buck off some new idea.
Yeah.
Or
Cory's an opportunist.
He's an opportunist. It's not always about making a buck. Sometimes he's very much just like, how can I get this cool Bahavian girl that is completely ambivalent to the fact that I exist? How am I going to get her to like me?
Yeah. And speaking of Cory, I just wanted to say that, some allegations came out a few years ago against the English voice actor Kyle Massey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so just want to say right now that any praise we give to Cory or as a character or Cory in the House or even Kyle Massey's performance, that doesn't reflect his character. Just want to say that up front.
I'm oblivious to this, so I'm gonna
keep it vague just to not get demonetized or anything, but
Wow.
Yeah. Bad stuff.
How could you, Cory? Speaking of Cory's about to be
Cory's about to be in the house.
In the big house.
In the big house, the Slammer.
Under the jail.
Under the jail.
Cory Booker's in this show.
Cory Booker?
And he's his dad, right?
No, that's not Cory Booker.
Is that not Cory Booker? Am I being racist?
No, that's Rondell Sheridan.
Damn.
No, I think you just might have it might be somebody who looks like Cory Booker and you just assumed.
Well, yes, that's exactly what I did. But the main reason I did that is every time I went to the website where I was watching this and typed in Cory, the first thing that showed up was Cory Booker, and the second thing that showed up was Cory in the House. And in 180 pixels,
yeah, it can. Be
I'm doing a racism right now, and I would like to deeply apologize for doing a racism right now.
I don't think that's fair, especially since I don't know if I've ever seen anything with Cory Booker in it, so I don't even if I didn't just have the Wikipedia in front of me, I might have just been yeah, I guess that's Cory Booker. You know, I don't know who Cory Booker is.
Shout out for having the Wikipedia on hand.
Number one researcher here, you know.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, getting out the big bucks for the research here on Cory in the House. But like we were saying before, this show, as much as it tries to not be political, is it kind of has to be a little bit.
Right.
Right? It's not in the sense that it's it's arguing for specific policies or anything.
No, but it is just it's not political necessarily, but it's so entrenched in politic.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because, several of the major characters are, the son of the head of the CIA.
Yeah, or
the daughter of the emperor of Bahavia.
Yeah, or White House staffers, or
exactly,
Bahavian diplomats,
and even as far as I can tell, it's not really it's not even punching at Bush or anything.
I don't think so. No. I think more than anything, it might be influenced by Bill Clinton. Right? That kind of feels to me the quote-unquote celebrity president.
Sure.
Who is, extremely charismatic and kind of goofy, but in a way that is endearing to the public.
Sure.
Back in the day when celebrity presidents were endearing to the public. But...
I wish I could have experienced a time when that was possible, but...
Yeah. When the worst thing a president could do was just,
get a
bone
little
too
sloppy
much.
toppy, exactly. Damn. Oh no. Say what you will about his marital situation after that.
Yeah.
But that's his own problem to deal with. What do I give a shit if the president's getting a little extra head under the table?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me, man.
I was talking about not getting demonetized 5 minutes ago, and now we're talking about head. Awesome.
Oh my god, dude.
But anyways, it.
But it's
it tries to do the thing where it's the president goes to show and tell or whatever,
right,
and he's well, this is the Republican Party, and this is the Democrat Party. I'm not going to say which one I'm in.
Exactly. I wear a green tie.
That's right.
It's so weird to me because this show didn't appeal to me when I was younger because it was so entrenched in the theater of politics.
Really?
This show came on and I ignored it. I went and played Pokemon Emerald.
I never watched this show because I just didn't have Disney Channel.
Fair enough. I didn't care about this show when I was a kid, and now I go back and watch it and I'm like, oh my god, this is written for fucking toddlers.
I mean, I don't know. This show got a few laughs out of me every once in a while, right? I think it's just this show isn't brilliantly written or anything, but if you're trying to, write 60 jokes per episode, some of them are gonna stick, right?
60 jokes in a 20-minute episode.
Especially in kind of our Gen Z post-irony world, where it's
right, things that certainly weren't meant to be as funny as they are now are funny because of broken neural pathways and depression.
Yeah. And even the jokes that aren't aren't usually all that funny. Sometimes even like the performances themselves can just like give it just enough that it gets a little chuckle out of you.
Right, because it's like, sometimes it just pulls me into like being on set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what direction was given to elicit this performance? And how is this deemed the best take? But I mean, that's kind of the realm you're dealing with, I guess, when you're working with predominantly child actors.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I mean, like, how could anyone play Newt differently than just like the literal like dumbest stoner not stoner there ever was?
Your right hand comes off. Newt is Leon S. Kennedy.
Leon S. Kennedy.
Headcanon confirmed.
Okay, look, both of them know the president, okay?
Both of them know the president's daughter.
Wow, now that's something.
Both of them kind of dumb as hell. Leon's such a bimbo.
He is. Yeah, but like, I mean, this show isn't like, it's not terrible to watch, it's like, it gets a few laughs out of you every once in a while, like, it's not poorly produced as far as like television is concerned, but like, I think the real thing that like I started to like, we made the bit where it was like lost media or whatever, and it's like, I kind of just did that because like, I don't think I could have made it through more of the show. And I
couldn't.
And it's not even because like, any particular episode contained on its own is usually that bad.
It's not bad.
It's more like it's the sitcom problem where it's like we can't ever resolve any issue with a character because then the character is fundamentally different.
Right. And so it's compounding because it's like everything has to remain status quo. Mm-hmm. And also, this is a spin-off show, again, of another more established show that we're putting more money and production into and care more about.
Yeah.
So, like, you go from the kind of, like, time-bending, like, future sight shit going on and That's So Raven, and then you step over to Cory in the house, and it's like, now we're just dealing with wrote every day. I mean, it's like Ned's Survival Guide, except not nearly as. I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on the show because it's really not bad, but it's like there's nothing about it that jumps to me that's like great either, and so it kind of falls into like the worst possible category, which is like mediocre purgatory.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not bad enough to be notable or interesting in any way, but it's also not punching out of its league in any notable way.
Yeah, that's true. And like, there's something to be said about that, right? Like the show employed a lot of people, I guess, for a few years.
Get paid.
Until Kyle Massey fucking got a concussion jumping off of a boat in season 2. Don't do your own stunts, kids.
Didn't the kid from iCarly like break every bone in his body doing that one? Get it! And he fucking falls from the ceiling.
I believe it. R.I.P. Gibby. But
rest in peace, Gibby. Ooh, what you say?
But yeah, like, it's kind of your just standard run-of-the-mill thing where it's just like, Cory has some kind of scheme going on, and there's always like a B plot involving the president or Sophie or something.
Right, the
like
president or the secretary or his dad or some other A plot, B plot. They fall together in the like. It's just very rote, very standard, especially for the time. Just like typical sitcom writing, except the twist is it's a sitcom about a kid in a high school, and also another twist he's the son of the president's personal chef, so he's
Yeah.
in the White House all the time.
I do like the bit that it's just like the president comes down for a snack every once in a while. Like,
right. It's like that is the one thing that's like the funniest to me is the situations that the president just appears in throughout.
Yeah.
Because like 99.9% of the time he's on screen, he's not the fucking president. He's just some guy bumbling around in a house that's being paid for.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing anything. Every once in a while, they're like, oh, the president has a press conference, or the president has a meeting with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, and they never get around to actually talking about any issues because, of course, that's not what the show's about.
That's not what the show's about. But, like, it's so weird that it's, like, it's so not what the show's about, but it's so what the show's about.
Yeah.
It's like...
And the show tries to comment on things every once in a while, right? Like, like episode 2 is like, the whole, get to learn another culture kind of thing. Even though, like, the Bahavian culture is like a weird mix of, like, Indian, Mongolian, and Arab stereotypes.
Right. So it's like, they meant well, I guess.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, pick a country.
There are a lot of countries that exist.
Yeah.
And we don't have to blend negative stereotypes to make a third fake country.
Yeah, though to be fair, there is the one episode where she's like, hey, I made this cool dessert, and they don't make it like some weird thing that like is just too weird for our culture. They're like, oh, this shit's good. Let's make let's make 80 of them for a party.
I will say, even in the media that I enjoy thoroughly as of recently, namely Metaphor and Delicious in Dungeon, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Ew, what's that weird, gross thing that I'm not culturally familiar with? Yeah. And then, like, some other character is like, it's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
But it's, like, presented to you, the character, as something that's like...
Yeah.
Nobody would eat that, right?
Nobody would eat that. Yeah, so, like, that it does that enough, at least, Though then, I guess, they all, in that similar line, they also do the bit with the fucking nose flute, which I guess is in the same lane. It's just like, oh, these people with their weird nose flute music,
right?
But yeah, and then there's also the weird episode where it's like Cory has to manipulate the masses at his school to get Newt out of becoming class president.
I still can't get over the... We have the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson episode where we say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's name every 5 minutes. Except he's only on screen for a total of 30 seconds for the entire episode.
Yeah,
and the president never actually speaks to him.
Yeah, they literally had they had him in the little tea party set, and then they had an extra special set built right next to it. That's like the fucking dream bank or whatever. And then that's it. They just block booked his whole shoot. And
we have 45 seconds with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We had $300 and he was already in town. So we got to make this count.
Yeah, though it is interesting watching a version of Dwayne Johnson that's not at the level of success that he is currently at, or even was at his prime in 2018, 2019, right? Culturally speaking. But he's still just it's still just this insistent that he's important,
Right. I don't even think that he's so insistent that he's important.
I think he is.
At least so much everybody else is. Which is weird because at this time, his only cultural significance would have been WWE, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if the Tooth Fairy had come out at this point.
Mummy? Scorpion King?
Yeah, Mummy, Scorpion King. It definitely wasn't Southland Tales, but, Are you familiar with Southland Tales?
Not at all.
The 3-hour epic from the director of Donnie Darko.
Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Yeah, that grossed $16,000 across 1,000 screens. And effectively ended that man's career. Screen. Yeah.
But Donnie Darko's so good.
Donnie Darko is so good. This movie just did not work.
How do you make Donnie Darko and then make a movie with The Rock so bad that he died.
This August on Patreon, Southland Tales.
Speaking of the Patreon,
yeah,
April Fools, we got you bitches.
Yeah.
If you want to see the real episode, we're covering Howl's Moving Castle on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So we don't really do this a lot anymore. We kind of did it one time when we like initially launched the Patreon, but 2 weeks for free, 14 days free trial, right?
I think it's 7 days actually, but you know, I would do it for 14 days if we could, but I think it's 7 days. But
at least there are 2 episodes on there right now.
Yeah.
So please go check it out. Like I said, 7-day free trial. Cancel anytime you want. If you don't want to give us $1, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the episode that's talking about actual anime
this week,
that's coming out this week, so it's going to be on the Patreon. The Patreon is obviously, as it stands, a little bare bones. Obviously, there will be more content as more time passes. So keep an eye on it if you're waiting for a time where there's like more to experience there.
But even still, like $1 a month, you know, it's
like $1 a month.
You can literally forget about it. Like you could just set it and forget it. You know,
it's $1 a month. All of our episodes, like if you don't pay for YouTube Premium or Spotify Premium or whatever, all of our episodes completely ad free there.
Ad free forever.
Exactly.
You'll never pay for ads if you have it.
All of our Patreon exclusive episodes a year before they come out anywhere else.
Yep.
This whole episode here has been an excuse to get you to watch this, and
that's not true. That's not true. I was preparing to go on for like 20 minutes straight about how like this is an anime, and it's like, oh, you know, like what a weird twisted version of American culture through Japanese lens. But you know, you had to break kayfabe. It's fine. It's fine.
It is. It is. Go check out the Patreon.
It would be nice if you did. This is not an excuse for it. We just wanted to do an April Fool's Day joke, you know, just like a little like, you know.
This moment in I shouldn't say that this episode was an excuse for it, but this moment in time is a very convenient way for me to talk to you for a slightly extended period about how you can give me $1.
Just one.
Just one.
All I need is one.
And you get to hear my opinions on Howl's Moving Castle and others.
And mine as well.
And Josh's as well.
Yeah, if you care about that sort of thing. But
I mean, like, I'm only 50% of the show.
Yeah.
And that's only going to diminish if we hire more people.
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah. But yeah.
So you're only actually giving me 50 cents and you're giving Josh another 50 cents.
That's right.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Which is like... you don't even have to give anything up for that. That's like the change that you get back from your daily Starbucks milkshake.
Yeah. You put it in your cup holder and then you don't think about it until it gets too full and then you just, you know.
And you take it to the bank.
Yeah, you just take it to the bank.
And when you take it to the bank, it's going to be like... It'll total up to like $12 maybe if you're like super lucky. And guess what $12 is? That's 1 year of How to Otaku Patreon.
That's right. It's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good deal. So this week we got Howl's Moving Castle coming on the Patreon. Actually, the same day this is coming out as well.
Yes, we already have.
Yeah. Thus spoke Kishibe Rohan.
That's right. That's the first episode
and
we did.
Our next Patreon episode is going to be on June 1st, and that's going to be on Shinichiro Watanabe's anthologies and short films and Cowboy Bebop the movie. Just like all the kind of like ancillary stuff that, you know, we can't talk about. We can't devote one episode to on the main feed, but we can kind of just lump it all together and talk about it as a whole.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what we got so far. On the main feed, though, we're finally finishing JoJo's April 14th.
April 14th, that's the last episode of...
The last episode of JoJo's.
JoJo's series.
It will probably be pretty long because we'll probably have a lot of stuff to talk about. The ending of part 6.
Yes, we'll have a lot of things to kind of go back and take care of.
And then we have to talk about, like, you know, what's our ranking of the JoJo's? What are our favorite stands? You know, like
I will say we have a schedule for Patreon content. I may get a wild hair and say, Josh, we have to talk about this right now for the Patreon. And then just like bang out a bullshit and like, you know. Yeah. So there may be bonus content that's not scheduled.
There might be even more stuff, you know? Just like random little shits and giggles we talk about.
And I think an excellent use of that is a video where we do an actual JoJo's part at... Like, JoJo's part, JoJo's character, JoJo's stand, tier list series. That would be an excellent place for that. But, you know, Cory in the House, if you grew up on the show, great. Yeah. I'm not going to take away your love of your childhood favorite media. It's a fine enough show. It's like a 3 out of 10 anime, if we're being real.
If we're being real. You know, like, I don't know, I would give it a 4. But, you know, we could round it up or down, you know, on my anime list.
3's being a little harsh. I'd say like 3.5 at lowest.
Yeah. The Nintendo DS game, though, that's a 10 out of 10 banger.
I'm not familiar. I would have to check that out.
Look it up.
New stream idea. Cory in the House, Nintendo DS.
I think it actually has like a 9.8 on Metacritic.
Really?
Hang on. But yeah, we got JoJo's Part 6, Part 2 coming April 14th.
Yes.
And then on the 28th, we are starting our Shinichiro Watanabe miniseries with Cowboy Bebop Redux.
Cowboy Bebop Redux.
We're recovering that show in its entirety.
It was not the first show that we covered.
No, it's like the 4th.
But it was the first show that we put like significant hype on. And then life got in the way. So we never actually fully covered Cowboy Bebop. So be ready for that episode to be very long.
9.3.
That's crazy.
9.3.
Better than God Hand.
Better than God Hand. Better than Fortnite.
What is Fortnite rated on Metacritic?
I don't know, but the IGN gave it like 9 out of 10 or something. But yeah.
The Cowboy Bebop episode is going to be long. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the bigliest episode.
It's gonna be massive.
We're gonna do this episode bigly.
And I will listen to all of the director's commentaries, and I will, you know, I will dig deep into the research if I can, you know, just like gobble up that information so, you know, we have something more real to talk about than we did with Cory in the House, because Cory in the House is just kind of
what is there to talk about? Yeah, dude, come on, guys.
We should probably do something that's more substantial next time, right? We should talk about, you know, I guess we can't really say, but you know,
I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas of what we can. Listen, this is not our typical April Fool's episode. This is like, I mean, it's kind of in the format. We're going to talk about something that you won't expect necessarily, or maybe you will if you pay attention to the little breadcrumbs we drop and just exactly how stupid we are. But I've got some ideas for future April Fool's episodes. So, and like I said, don't get disappointed. If you wanted a real episode of How to Otaku, we got you covered. It's there, baby.
7-day free trial.
7-day free trial. Patreon. How to Otaku.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, thank you all for listening. Like, rate, and review, and subscribe. And check us out on Blue Sky and TikTok at HowToOtakuPod or HowToOtaku.com.
Yes.
And
you can follow Josh on Blue Sky as well.
Yep. JD Thorne Film at jdthornefilm.howtootaku.com.
That's right. And myself, broganlive.howtootaku.com. I've also been toying with the idea of getting back into streaming on a more regular schedule.
Yeah,
so
you've done a
if
few
there's interest
streams,
in that.
Figured out that TikTok stream. Now that's going to be huge.
I
That's
did.
Gonna be massive.
Let me know what games you guys want to see get played on stream, or if you guys want to see me just kind of do one of those crazy TikTok streams where the people debate. Right, you know, you can watch this dumbass debate other dumbasses live on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that, but just, you know, shoot me a message on Blue Sky or like I don't know how the formula works over there or what the terminology is, but just tweet at me on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Just say, I want to see you play this game, because other than that, I'm just gonna play fucking Monster Hunter Wilds and Xenoblade Chronicles X and like Risk of Rain 2, unless I catch a wild hare. That's enough self-plug.
Yeah.
Cory in the house.
Cory in the house. Until next time, my fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans. See you